Hello, I'm Gareth Walker. I'm here for the West Yorkshire Football Show with a little bit of delayed reaction to Bradford City's retained list that was announced this week. I didn't think there were any major surprises on it. Obviously, the three main talking points for me, or the noticeable points that it raised in my head, were looks like Colin Doyle's been offered another playing contract, which is a little bit strange given that he could be fourth choice keeper next year. Obviously, we're trying to keep Sam Walker. We've got Joe Hilton as his backup, and Zach had his contract option taken up for another year. So you would imagine Colin Doyle will be fourth choice. So it's a little bit odd that he looks like he's been offered a playing contract. You would imagine that is just for in case of emergency, and you would imagine that he's going to mainly be a coach as he has been this year. The other talking points, second one for me, was that Lewis Richards hasn't had the option taken up on his contract. We had an option to extend his contract by one further year on the terms that he was on, but the way the retained list worded, it indicates that he's been offered or they're discussing new terms with him. So that makes you think that they didn't want to extend his contract on the old terms. They either wanted to change the terms in some way or another, either improve wages or extend the contract for more than a year or reduce his wages or something. So he's not had the option taken up on his old terms, but we are in talks for new terms with Lewis Richards. And then the third one, obviously, a little bit disappointing to see Jamie Walker leave. Bit of a fan's favourite during his time at City. I rated him quite highly. I think he's proved his worth over the few years that he's been with us. He does get injured a lot, but this year in particular, it was nice to see him fighting for his place when he got back in the squad after Christmas, and obviously used in unfamiliar positions up front rather than as an attacking midfielder. There have been times during his time at City when he's been possibly the only bright spark along with Andy Cook, and our form did tail off a year or two back when he got that injury to his shin and he couldn't play. We were doing well up to that point, and then when he got injured, he really dropped off. My main concern is that obviously, for me, what we've seen so far, Jamie Walker is a better player than Tommy Lee, what we've seen of Tommy Lee so far. So it's a little bit disappointing that, we've kind of like seen a swap there, that Walker's gone and Tommy Lee's still in. He's still got 2 years on his contract. But Tommy Lee has done well at Accrington in the past. He's obviously got pedigree, someone we've chased for a while in previous windows, and finally got him in January. And he's got time to prove his worth. We paid a fee for him. We obviously rate him highly, so we'll give Tommy Lee time to prove that he can been better than what Jamie Walker has been. But Jamie Walker's somebody that the fans really liked. He's settled in the area. He'd really bought into the club. I get the impression he possibly didn't really want to leave, but he has done. We know there were rumours that he nearly left last summer when we didn't take up the option on his contract, and he tried to renegotiate terms and ended up couldn't agree. So did take up the option on his contract and kept him for that extra year on his old terms. But yeah, I get the impression a little bit of sadness on both sides that he's going. Fans' favourite, and he liked the club, and he'd done well for us over the time. So yeah, disappointing. But yeah, time moves on. We're promoted. We need to look to the future and new players, and hopefully Tommy Lee and whoever else comes in can be as good, if not better, than Jamie Walker has been for us. Other players that left, obviously Romney Critchlow was a favourite in the time he was with us previously on loan from Huddersfield. Signed for us in January. Didn't do as well, I don't think, this time as he did first time around. For me, Romney has tons of ability, but needs to find a settled home and be a regular in somebody's team, and hopefully he can find that somewhere next year. Just a little personal note from me, every single player that contributed to us over the last year, getting us promotion, or any time that they spent at the club, we just want to say thank you to them. You finally helped us achieve our aim of getting out of League Two, and we wish you all the best in the future. So thanks to everybody that's leaving Bradford City from me, and I'm sure from the fan base that's supported you over the last few years. You've got the job done. One final point, we made our first signing of the summer today. Max Power has signed, a midfielder who started out his career at Tranmere, played for Wigan and Sunderland. You would imagine that David Sharp knows him well from Wigan. He spent the last year in Saudi Arabia and in Denmark. I do believe we've been linked with signing him before. We seem to have got that deal done now and over the line. He's somebody who is very versatile, very experienced, can play right back as well as central midfield, tough tackling, got a really good shot on him, chips in with a few goals. And he's an experienced head. Like I say, he's won promotion before from League One. So he looks a good signing on face value, as long as he's not lost too much of his ability over the last year in Denmark and Saudi Arabia. But yeah, I think that's a good start to the summer. Like I say, experienced head, chips in with goals, winner in the past, should provide good cover for Smallwood, I think, in that midfield role, as well as being able to get forward and can play right back as well. So, yeah, good signing for me, that, and a really good start to the summer. Like I say, experienced head and a proven winner. So that's the summer so far. Obviously, the playoffs are still going on elsewhere. They're interesting to watch when you're not in it. I always say the playoffs are great for anybody who's not involved. So Walsall play tonight against Chesterfield, and then the other one is Notts County and Wimbledon. The two is tomorrow, I think. So the two second legs of those are going to be interesting to watch to see who joins us in League One next year. Onwards and upwards with the West Yorkshire Football Show.